The next element we'll look at is the anchor element. And the anchor element is what allows us to link to other places. They could be other web pages within our site, or they could be other websites entirely. But we'll begin by looking at how we might link to another page in our site. And we do this by declaring an anchor element via an opening and closing A tag. The A stands for anchor, of course, and we need to include an href, which stands for hyperlink reference, to tell the anchor where to link to. And then the about, this text in between the opening and closing A tag, is the clickable link that will display in our web page. So let's go ahead and save this index.html file, open our browser and refresh it, and we'll now see this about tag, and if we click on it, it takes us to about.html in our page. This href tag can either accept a relative path to another HTML page or another URL within our web application, or it can accept a URL to a third-party application. So we can see how that looks by, for instance, creating a new anchor element that passes in Google as the href. And if we go ahead and save our index.html page and refresh it in our browser, we'll see that now we have Google as a clickable link, and if we click on that, it'll take us away from our page over to Google. That's cool, but a lot of times we don't want to build a web application where our links actually divert people away from our site. Instead, we'd prefer to have it open up in a new tab or even a new window, but probably just a new tab. And we can make that happen by adding one additional attribute within our HTML anchor tag, and that is the target equals blank attribute. The target attribute tells our browser where to place the new link that we just clicked on, and the underscore blank tells the browser to place it in a new blank tab. Of course, we don't even necessarily need to include a link to our href attribute at all. We could just leave it blank. And this can be useful if we want to have a clickable piece of content that doesn't actually link anywhere, or that maybe pops up a modal or something of that nature. And so if we save this, we can see exactly how that looks in our web page right here, and it's clickable, but it doesn't actually do anything. Lastly, we may want an image to link to another place or be clickable, and we can do that by nesting our image element inside of an anchor element, as we see here, where we just simply take the image that we created in the last video and nest it inside of our anchor tag that leads to Google in a new tab. And so if one last time we refresh our web page, we can see how this works. Or now we have this clickable photo that opens a new tab with a link to Google.